when that runs out. Huh? Oh, goodness. Good morning, you guys. It's early. It's a little chilly this morning. And I'm not a morning person. But we have a project today where this video will be a little different. Over in that box behind me is our new hot water heater that my husband and I will be attempting to install. No, not attempting. We will install that today. This has been a little thorn in our side for a while now. We've been making do, but it's gotten to the point where our old one is leaking. And we've called around to plumbers, and they tell us anywhere between $1,200, the lowest was about $600 to install it. So we've gone to YouTube University, and we've also done some research, so we feel like we'll be able to do it ourselves. So today we'll be doing that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to drain it, so to get all the water out of the old one. So we're up early so we can do that before the kids get up, so the turning the water off won't be that big of a problem, so they won't be worried about not having water and all that. So that's what we'll be doing early this morning. I'm looking rough, y'all. Gotta do what we gotta do. All right. And no, this is not an instruction video. So we're just documenting our journey of what we're doing. We are not professionals. We're just homeowners trying to save some money. Here we go. So these are the basic instructions. First thing is to turn off your cold water inlet. Second thing, which would be the first for me, is to turn off the power box because I don't want to get electrocuted. Then you drain the old tank. After draining, you disconnect the lines, the water lines from the old tank, remove it, and then reconnect the lines to the new tank. Turn the cold water back on. Make sure the tank is completely full, because you don't want to turn the power on before the tank is full because it'll mess up the new system. Check your electrical connections, and then you make sure your thermostat is set the way you want it, so you know the water will be the temperature you want. And then here it shows you there B is the cold water inlet. That's where the cold water comes into your tank. That's why they have the shutoff valve there. It goes into your tank. Your tank heats up the water, and then it goes out through B to your home, where the hot water goes to your bathroom, your kitchen, or wherever. C is called a pressure valve release. So during the process of heating the water, if it gets too hot, that is where pressure is relieved. A is a little panel where you hook up the electrical. Down there at the bottom, all the way at the bottom, is the little spigot where we'll be draining the tank. We'll hook a hose up there, and that round thing around it is the drain pan. In case it overflows or something, it'll catch the water, and you'll see ours is pretty yucky because it's been leaking. We've been trying to keep it cleaned out, and over here is a dinosaur. My kids were playing dinosaurs, so that's what that is. And so we're getting ready to get started. And those chiming sounds is, of course, the ring, because my husband's outside moving around. All right. Also, here's the picture of the unit that we purchased. It is electric, 50 gallon, 4,500 watts, 6-year warranty. Hopefully no problems. And as you see the dimensions down there, 23 inches. Your drain pan is supposed to be 2 inches larger, which ours should be like 25, but they only sell 26. But we actually got the wrong one by accident, so we'll see how to handle that in a little bit. All right, here's some of the things we purchased. We have a water heater tester to test the current to make sure that the electric's off. We needed one of these anyway, so picked it up. This is a deburring tool, so when you cut the pipe, we have copper pipes on there. You make sure that all the shavings or the metal pieces where you cut, the pipe is clean and you get a nice connection. This shark bite tool goes here with these. This is the cutter we're going to use to cut the pipe with. Plumbing tape. I know some people may say you don't need that using the shark bite lines, but we're trying to get what we needed just in case, because Home Depot is like 25 minutes away from us, 20 minutes, whatever. So these are called shark bite lines, and it's meaning that you could just kind of hook that up. It look a little yucky in there on the camera. That you can hook these up to by just pushing them on. So this will be the new cold and hot water line, and this will be the line coming from the that pressure valve I was talking about. And this little thing is just in case we need to take it apart. It helps you disconnect the clips. Sorry for taking so long. I'm trying to think my way through this stuff. Hesitating when I'm talking. Looking at my bar that needs to be clean, but I might as well wait until we get all this stuff off. But this is what we're doing this morning. This is what we bought. You're also going to need regular tools, a wrench, screwdriver, things like that. Your toolbox. And a hose. So here it is. Our dirty little secret. Dusty. Used and abused. Yucky. You need to clean around the floor. It's just bad. Just living bad. Just living reckless. So we'll be turning off the water up here on the water line. Then we'll go over here to our box. Well, you see right there, 13 and 15. WH is for water heater. Right there, 13, 15. We'll turn that off and check to make sure it's off. That gray is where the electrical comes in. Turn the water off. Then we'll hook the hose. Oh, this looks so bad, y'all. Hook the hose down there to that, and then about 6 steps away is a window, and we're going to run the hose out the window and empty this tank. So we now turned off the cold water. As you can see, the little lever is turned the other way. As we were turning it off, it did leak a little bit, I guess due to the pressure, but we kept going and it stopped. Down here, we've hooked up the hose, and we had to cut the pan because we couldn't fit the hose there. But we've hooked up the hose and we're getting ready to turn it on. Also, while you're draining the pan, I'll show you over here. So we have it draining out of the window here. We have some old pants because it's cold, trying to keep the air temperature in here. But as you're draining it out, you need to go to your faucet and turn on the hot water. It should come out a little bit and then stop, but that's relieving the pressure, kind of like the vent to make the water run out faster. So we're going to drain this. I hope that makes sense. Hook up the hose, turn it on so it'll drain out the water heater. Then you go to your faucet, turn on your hot water. Nothing's going to come out, but it'll be venting it, letting the air out, if that makes sense. And then it should take a while to drain. Okay, you guys, we run into a problem. We're trying to drain it, and I think it has so much sediment built up in the bottom that it's just not draining. We watched a couple of videos real quick, and they told us to try a metal hanger, but it's not working. I mean, when we turn it on, it's just dripping. So we trying to decide if we should try to keep trying to unclog it, or if we should try to just get the dolly and move it out while it's full. We'll let y'all know. So now we're still at a standstill because we still can't get it to drain, and we're looking for a tool. Every time we start a project, I anticipate something going wrong, so I won't be stressed. But I was really hoping we'll be a little further along than this right now, but it is what it is. So we'll keep working. All right, you guys, we had to regroup. We had to go, well, my husband ran out to get a new pan that'll fit, and some new pliers, and some fuel for our bodies, some biscuits. So we're gonna eat, regroup, and try this again. So we take the electrical loose. We still couldn't get it drained out, so we're gonna try to move it with the water in it using the dolly. Really. We're gonna take that loose. Basically, it's 2 connections and ground wire, so not too much in there. And I'm gonna make sure we get a picture of the wire so we'll know how to connect the other ones back up. So we have black to black and red to white. That's how we'll hook it back up to the new one. Now we're getting ready to use this to cut the pipes, the copper tubing, to disconnect the water lines from the old heater. So with the little cutter, you just put it around the pipe, tighten it, and then you kind of twist it around and tighten it some more and kind of twist it around until it cuts through. So it's cut through, you see there. So we got that one. We're gonna have to do this one and that one next. Okay, so while he's cutting, we've cut through 2 lines. He's on the last one, but this is called a deburring tool. It's a little cutting tool. As you can see right there, it says cut the pipe to desired length, and then with the blade inside of the tube, use a circular motion. Well, this kind of cleans up the cut. If there are any little pieces of metal or pipe or plastic, whatever, from the PVC, it'll scrape all that off to make a nice clean edge, so you can get a good connection to your other line. Okay, so we have all 3 lines disconnected, and he's taking the part of loose down there from the drip pan, and we are going to try to get this thing out of here. So we're getting ready to try to get it out of here. So it is out with a lot of muscle. It's out. So we're about to clean up this mess and try to get the new one in, just in case you were wondering how it went with the other one and what it looks like. That's it. Okay, so we have the new one in place. There it is. We're gonna have to do some painting over here. We've been wanting to redo this room anyway, but said we didn't need to do it until we got this hot water heater replaced. So that's another project. But we have a problem. These lines are 3/4, and we got 1/2-inch hookups by mistake. So we're gonna have to go run to the store to get those. So getting kids dressed and ready so we can run. But we wanted to go ahead and get this in place so we could get it hooked up and hopefully get some hot water going by tonight. It is 12 o'clock, so we got pretty good amount of time to get everything done. But at least we got it in place and ready to be hooked up. And we'll be back with another update. Okay, so after a trip to Home Depot, Lowe's, Sam's, and to get something to eat, we're back. And we're going to see if we can get this put back together. It is now around around 4:53. And we'll see if we can have a hot shower tonight, because I need one. Okay, so we got it all hooked up except for the electric. Took a little doing. We're not going to hook the electric up because you have to make sure it's filled up completely before you add the power, or it can burn out the elements in there and mess up the whole tank before you even get to use it. Got some scratches on the wall from trying to get it in, but hey, we're supposed to be redoing it anyway. But we're going to start turning the water back on and try to fill it up and then hook it up. Okay, so we have it hooked back up, but we got a little leak coming out of the cold water line. You can see it's dripping. But we're going to try to go ahead and fill it up, see if we can get some warm water for tonight, and then we can try to get that fixed tomorrow. And while it's filling, we have the hot water on, or as they say, open. Now the pressure coming out as it fills it back up. And then when that runs out, oh goodness!
I think it dropped on my eye. I think it dropped on. What happened? I think it dropped on my eye.
Private pressure. Is it full now? I think it's full.
I think
it was running clear. It was black. We're gonna let it run for a little while.
That was like the lake water.
Alright guys, it is the next day and it is like 2 in the afternoon. And as you can see, it looks very different from where we had it. We had to go get more pipes, and our little hardware store in town, all they had was PVC. And so we had to do it this way. Right now, we don't have any leaks. We got the tank all filled up. And we're just still checking for leaks, because after last night, it just kept leaking. This valve, I think it needs just a little tightening. I see a little drop right there, but we're going to let it run a little bit more to make sure all the air out, and then we're going to hook up the electric, because Lord knows I don't want to have to warm water on the stove another night. I will truly have a wonderful Thanksgiving, giving thanks for water. Hot water, if it's nothing else. Alright. Alright guys, here it is, the finished product. Well, not quite finished because it's still dripping that valve. We're going to have to fix that. But we do have hot water. We hooked up the electrical, and we tried the water. It is hot. If you're wondering what happened with those silver connectors or the short lights, one of them, when we got it on last night, one of them was kind of defective. We also learned that you know, some of them have been having issues with them or whatever, but I still think they're pretty neat to just stick down in there. We may end up switching it later. I don't know. I'm just glad we have some hot water, and we'll just worry about that valve later. All right. As you can see, it's doable. It may take a while, but it is doable. All right. See y'all next time.